He's not Ken, he's Colt Sievers, and he's part of this updated feature from a 20th century TV series, The Fall Guy. It is David Leitch's and Ryan Gosling's love letter to stunt performers. And it's coming up right now, my review on Mikey Lito's Matinee. Hey everybody, Mikey Lito here with another edition, another matinee review. Today, it's The Fall Guy. This is a TV series, or it was a TV series back in the 20th century. I don't think it made it to the 21st century, but regardless of that, um, it is an updated story, not exactly like the television series, quite different. But as I said in the intro, it is a love letter to stunt performers from director David Leitch and the principal star of the film, Ryan Gosling. In fact, when the movie opens, that's what we see even before we see the Universal logo is a discussion from David Leitch and Ryan Gosling. This is a really fun film. Now, I do have a couple of things that I want to talk about. So, why don't we do this? Let's talk about it. Shall we? The movie is a little slow getting started, just like me in this review. I thought I had everything set up, and as usual, there's always a couple of problems. Okay, I think we're good now. Um, the movie is a little slow getting started. It's not that it's boring, but the advertisements for this movie keep saying from the director of Bullet Train, and Bullet Train was a really kinetic movie. There was lots going on the entire time. That's not necessarily so at the beginning of this film. Uh, as I said, Ryan Gosling is Colt Sievers. He is a stuntman, and as the movie opens, well, I want to introduce the principal cast. As the movie opens, he is a stunt performer, and you're going to meet who he principally uh, stunts for in just a moment. But he also has a relationship with Jody Moreno. She is played by Emily Blunt. As the story opens, she is a camera operator on the film, but the photo that you're seeing right now, she later becomes a director. We'll talk about that momentarily. You also need to know Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. He is Tom Ryder. He is Ryder. He is the actor whom Colt doubles for in most of Tom's films. One of my favorite characters in here, uh, this is Winston Duke. He plays Dan Tucker, and he is a former stuntman and now a stunt coordinator uh, for the film that we're going to talk about that Jody's going to be working on in just a moment. And the last character that I want to introduce is Gail Meyer, played by Hannah Washington. She plays Tom Ryder's principal producer, and she has seen fit to have Colt hired as uh, Tom's stuntman on all of Tom's film, and she's also shepherding the career of Jody Moreno. She got Jody to be the director on this new film that we'll see for most of the part in the movie called Metal Storm. It is supposed to be a romance between a cowboy and an alien. But really, uh, when we first meet Colt and Jody, as I said, Colt is a stuntman and Jody is a camera operator on the film. And I see that there is a comment. I will get to the comments shortly after the movie discussion. Colt and Jody are a couple on a prior film that they were filming where Colt is doubling for Tom Ryder. But Colt has an accident during that film and he is laid up for 18 months working as a valet, a parking valet at, I believe it's a Mexican restaurant. But he gets a call from Gail Meyer, who says that Jody is doing this film and she wants Colt to be a stuntman on this film, and he needs to fly all the way from wherever he was in the States to Sydney, Australia. So once Colt finds out that Jody is the director of the film, he decides to fly out there, and almost instantaneously pick up their relationship. Although Jody gives him somewhat of a rough time in front of her entire camera crew. It's really quite hilarious. And Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, Tom Ryder, really, I don't think he and Colt get along. There's a portion of the film where when Colt sees a advertisement with Tom's face on it, he has this reaction. But what the film is principally about is stunt performers. And there are a lot of set pieces between that show how involved stunt performers are involved in the making of the film. And also you see a lot of little movie secrets about how they do different things, not just stunts, but other things in movie production. But still, the movie is principally about stunt performers. But at one point, Tom disappears, and Gail tells Colt that the real reason that he has been brought to Sydney is that she figures he's familiar with all of Tom's habits and he'll be able to find him wherever he happens to be hanging out, because Tom has been hanging with some bad characters. This puts Colt in all kinds of situations. And what it does for us, the audience, is shows you the different kinds of things that stunt performers end up doing, because obviously the stunt performers for some of the things that we're seeing now that Colt gets involved in, they have to be involved in. So once we hit this section of the film, it's really a fun film. And Winston Duke gets involved in uh, some of the fight work in the film, and it turns out that uh, even Emily Blunt has a fight scene in the film. A lot of comedy, a lot of action, a lot of stunts. It's really quite the fun film. Oh, and this dog that's sitting next to Colt in the thing, he's a fun character too. I don't think they listed, they probably did in the theater, the animal performer, but he was great in the motion picture. So, like I said, this was a really fun film. And what did I think of The Fall Guy? Well, I am giving The Fall Guy a 8 out of 10. That's equivalent to 4 stars on a 5-star scale. This was really a fun film once we got past all the establishing scenes in the movie. As I said, some great stunt work in the film. There's even a character I noticed here called Rondell. Uh, if you watch credits, you'll know that there's a whole family of stunt performers named Rondell, including Ron Rondell is a name that comes to mind almost immediately. Um, I absolutely recommend that you go see this film. I don't know what other reviewers thought about it. I saw it very quickly because I wanted this cast list that it's getting a 7.4 rating on IMDb for those people who crowdsource movies on IMDb. But I love the film. Like I said, 8 out of 10. Uh, it might have got a 9 out of 10 if it got started a little bit sooner, but it didn't. So it is what it is. But I had a good time in going to see it. So 8 out of 10 for me. So, as I always say, watch content, form opinion. You just heard mine. Let's see what the public comments are. Dan Candy asks if anyone from the TV show got a cameo. Yes, and I'm sure the one that you're looking for, you won't be disappointed. Actually, 2 people got a cameo, but I only spotted one, but it was the one that I wanted to see. Uh, which reminds me, there's a mid-credit scene. So you want to stay for the mid-credit scene. There is no post-credit scene. Um, so keep that in mind. So Dan, you can probably figure out where the cameo that you wanted to see, where it is. Paul in Long Beach says, "Cheers." How you doing, Paul? I miss seeing you, but then I miss seeing everybody because I haven't been too well. Plus, I'm not really thrilled with the movie calendar this year. I didn't really think that I was that much into superhero movies, but the rest of the movies that have been presented now, I admit that I have missed a lot. I have a whole list of movies, including some that I've seen that I need to put reviews out, and hopefully I will do that in the future. One movie that I'm going to see next week is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, I don't usually prejudge movies going in, but I don't know a lot. I I do not watch movie trailers except for the movie trailers that I see before the film's in theaters. And the trailer for this film reminds me a lot of the original Planet of the Apes film, the one with Charlton Heston. So I'm not really sure what to expect, but I'm going to try and go in with an open mind. And I will tell you what I think about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes next week. It's going to be earlier than normal, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific in North America, and 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And here are some other films that I'm going to see this summer. Now, one other film premiered today. I watched a portion of it this morning, but I have not seen the whole thing, so I'm not going to review it now. But I'm going to finish it tonight, and hopefully sometime this weekend I'll put up a review of this as well. It's called Unfrosted, and it's Jerry Seinfeld's movie about the creation of Pop-Tarts, but it's not a literal history. It is more or less a competition between the Kellogg Company and the Post Company in Battle Creek, Michigan, at the time that Pop-Tarts was created. So hopefully we will see a review of that film this weekend. But I will say to you that the portions that I saw, not all the jokes hit, but it was somewhat funny. So look forward to that. Let's see. There's one more comment here from Paul in Long Beach. He says, "Darn right, these films have been great. Hopefully, this will be as well." Paul, if you're talking about the Fall Guy, I really think that you will enjoy it. I had a good time. Like I said, it was a little slow getting started, but once I would say once it got past the first third of the film, it was really kind of cool. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And hopefully Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes will outshine my expectations. We shall see. So anyway, any other comments that you folks have, leave them down below. Also, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. I noticed today that I picked up another 2 subscribers. I don't know who they are yet, or even if I will know who they are, but I appreciate everyone that joins the channel. You can find me on these social media channels. Also on my leisure blog at MikeyLito.blog and my opinion blog at MikeyLito.com. So until sometime this weekend when I review Unfrosted, and next Friday when I review Kingdom of the Planets of the Apes, this is Mikey Lito saying thanks for watching, and I shall see you soon. And until then, ciao for now.